Hey Ian, so it was nice to see you after all this time. I know you had to go to work, so we didn't get a chance to hang out too much, but it was nice to see you again. And as you noticed, I left a note next to the blueberry clippings that I left on your balcony that I'll be back. Now, I told you I was going to give you some blueberry clippings that I grew. Not this one particular, but the ones that I left on your windowsill are twice as big. The roots are formed, ready to plant in a pot. So you wanted potted blueberry plants on your balcony. Now, when I got over to your place and I was in the on your balcony, which has that overhang, I noticed that your soil here is super. It is really hard, and on top of that, it's it's super wet. Although it's been undercover for a while, there was even cobwebs on top, so I knew that that soil was sitting around a lot. And you do have a soil issue. Not only is the pH really, really high, over 7, which blueberry plants need about a pH of about 4.5 to 5.5. I also noticed that it's too dense and not very airy. And with that combination, along with the pH being low, or a pH being too high, over 7, we need to address some issues before I plant those blueberry clippings that I had for you. So what I'm going to do is, you say that this is potting soil, potting mix, but I don't know. It sure doesn't look like it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this one here I have on the side. You'll notice that it's really airy, and you'll notice that it has all this little perlite in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just go ahead and start over and use actual potting mix first, sterile and fresh. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix in a little bit extra perlite, which is this white stuff. I'm going to go ahead and mix that into the potting mix and put that into your pots. And I'm also going to do probably a ratio of 1 to 1. What I mean by that is I'm going to add some sphagnum peat moss into the mix to help with the pH. I know that because I know you, I know that you're not going to go out and buy soil acidifier and sprinkle that out to the top of your soil once or twice a year to lower the pH to the desired effect that we want for blueberry plants. So what I'm going to do is do 1 part potting mix with 1 part sphagnum peat moss, which is a low acidic product. And so what I'll do is do 1 part potting mix, 1 part peat moss, and I'm going to mix in enough perlite to give it an airy texture, so that way it's nice and soft and drains well. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and mix this new potting mix with the peat moss. That way your pot will always have a low pH balance, and then put in the blueberry clipping and water it thoroughly. And that should be a good mix for your potting mix. For a lot of you out there, I've seen this a lot with friends, other friends and individuals, where they go ahead and they don't actually use potting mix. They use the dirt in the ground, or they buy something at the store that is not really potting specifically for pots. And so you want to buy actual specific potting mix or potting soil, and that helps a lot. But we know that blueberry plants are more acidic loving plants, and so you need to have acidic levels with your mix. And so what I'll do is by using the 1 part peat moss, sphagnum peat moss, and 1 part potting mix, and add in the perlite for you, which I already have. That should help lower the pH to the desired level, along with allowing the water to not sit in the soil, because this soil is pretty hard and it's pretty wet, and we don't want your roots to be sitting in damp soil all the time. And we also want it to be light and airy. And so we'll go ahead and get that done today, and hopefully by within the next day or two, I'll come over to your place and drop off your blueberry clippings, and you'll have blueberries in the springtime. So hopefully that helps, and helps everybody else out there. And good luck with your potted blueberry clippings and plants. Bye bye for now.